And one more thing I just want to make note of, because there's so much, I don't think people can understand there's no way you can understand unless you've been through it. Because there's just so much. So, I do have constantly those feelings of guilt and shame for doing this, uncertainty, all of those things. But as my healing goes along, those things are getting easier and easier to deal with and move through, and when they come up to move on from. So those things are there. I deal with those every day, you know. Um, and then, another thing is, if you don't know if you need healing and you're like, what the fuck am I talking about? All you got to do is, when you're by yourself, is just talk to yourself. Just honestly, just like get inside yourself and talk to yourself, and tell yourself you love yourself, and then think of, call yourself up in your head, and see, what version of you comes up, and say, I love you. See what happens. I mean, and like I said, guys, that missing time stuff and all that, that's not right. That is not right. There are things that happen on purpose that cause that. That is not an accident. You don't just miss years and years and years of not remembering your life. There is trauma. There are things that happen. So I just want people to know that they're not alone, man. If you're hurting, if these things have happened to you, they're happening to a lot of people. It's just, we're taught not to recognize them. We're taught to, yeah, you don't remember your child, neither do I. And then when you say, well, I think because maybe it was trauma. Yeah, everybody's trauma. Everybody, and they just blow it up, and they want to turn on their TV, and they want to put on their fucking, stupid music, and they want, you know what I mean? And it's just all about distraction, is what I'm trying to say, And the thing is that works until all that is like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg, It works till it doesn't anymore, It works as long as you can just hobble around to get. But if you got to run, if you got to go somewhere, you're fucked, That Band-Aid ain't going to help you. So, man, it's just amazing, We think critically, we think critically, but we think critically about these things that just don't even matter, like nonsensical bullshit things. Guys, I mean, just from when I was in school back in the 80s and 90s, all the curriculum, everything that they used to teach us, the science, everything's changed. Everything. If you think that the history is written by the winners, we have literally sat here and watched as they write whatever version of whatever they want, and they publish it, and they say this is it. And I mean, it's gotten to the point now where they completely censor the truth and censor people from telling the truth. Just like my mom used to do to me. They tell you what the truth is, and you have to speak their truth. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh, this is so reminiscent. I feel like I'm in a fucking movie. This is so reminiscent of the abuse I've suffered under my mom is the same abuse that is going on to all of civilization. It's just, it happens at birth, and nobody is recognizing it because everybody's lost in the sauce, man. Everybody's just lost in the sauce, bud. It really is. It's amazing how people will just defend this whole system. The amount of people hurting. I mean, guys, the amount of people hurting just all I'm talking about is just, I can't go anywhere else. All you idiots out there talking about all these other countries and all these other people that don't even live next to you. I mean, dude, you need to really stop and just cut everything off and start focusing. Like, bring your attention closer and closer and closer until it just is here. I mean, that you guys, the distraction is unreal. You know, and if you think I'm lying, turn all your technology off for 1 week. Try it. Try turning your technology off for 1 week completely and see what happens. You will. It's like you're an addict. You are addicted. You are completely, you don't even know you're addicted. Look, I was an alcoholic. This is the one thing that I learned too, you know, after being an alcoholic and feeling guilt and shame for being an alcoholic and constantly, you know, and then after quitting alcohol, I realized what addiction is, and it's just dopamine, and then it's, you know, trauma based for me, you know, most definitely trauma based, because my alcoholism started at 15, and it's just getting real, you know. It's turning off all your devices. I dare you. I dare you. I don't think any of you will. I don't think any of you can. I don't think it's possible. It will be like detoxing as a drug addict, guys. It's the same thing. You will have physical withdrawals from your technology. I mean, turn it off, cut it off, unplug it, unplug everything. Get away from your Wi-Fi. See what happens to you. You will detox. Your body will detox the radiation poisoning from the currents and the frequencies that you're so inundated with constantly. And then the stimulation from the eyes and the constant. You're addicted. You are so that is a way worse addiction than my alcohol addiction. You know, some of you are surrounded by that addiction 24/7. You got that shit going around. You got those earplugs in all day. You got that shit around you 24/7, man. I'm telling you, and you think I'm lying. You think I'm crazy. Turn that shit off for a week. See if you can do it for 5 days. 5 days, unplug everything, the whole Wi-Fi, the whole system. See what happens to you. You'll shut down. You'll become it's exactly like a drug addict going off their drug, whatever their drug of choice is. You'll have complete withdrawal symptoms. I guarantee it. Because I've seen it. I've felt it. But I've seen myself. I've seen other people. I've seen it. It's the same thing, guys. Try it. You won't do it, will you? Oh, it's impossible. I run my business. Oh, it's impossible. I got to do this. Oh, it's impossible. Yeah, that's what every addict in the world says. You guys are addicts and don't even know you're addicts. And oh my God. At least I can laugh about it now, because if I did this a few days ago, I wouldn't be able to laugh. I mean, that's how sad it is. It's just very sad, man. Addicted and don't even know you're addicted. And the thing is that's why that groupthink is so dangerous, because you guys just go along. Well, the group says it's okay. The group says it's okay. The group says, yeah, even though I got this problem, that problem, as long as I take this pill and that pill, I'll be okay. The group says as long as I do this, I'll be okay. And you guys just go slipping and sliding on down your groupthink path. Whether it be your religious groupthink, your groupthink, whatever group you're in, whatever groups. You know, people tend to have like a big major group, like a government, like Republican or Democrat, and then they seem to have like a Catholic or this or an atheist or a New Age. And then they seem to have, you know, this other, you know what I mean? It's always something, man. Always some kind of bullshit distraction, you know, never working on themselves. It's always something outside. It's always some politician, some religious leader, somebody else is going to fix their problems. But Jesus has them and, you know, is going to take care of everything. And they're okay because they got what they need. But everybody else is suffering, is learning lessons. And, oh, man. Whew. Wake up. Wake up. Hello. Are you guys still there? Are you still there? I wonder, man. You know, I wonder who's really there. I wonder who's really there. I do. Because like I said, everybody, if you're not jiving with what I'm throwing down, then you're literally on the program. But what I mean, and I'll define being on the program again, and being a drone, being enslaved think, group think, being downloaded, having Stockholm syndrome, you know, having cognitive dissonance and not even realize it. This is what the definition of that. At any given moment, if a family member or a close friend comes between you and your conveniences, and the state is going to cut off your conveniences if you don't disown or somehow dysregulate or blow off and not use your own humanity, you know, for an individual, because you're going to lose a convenience, you know. If you're defending these institutions, if your only answer to people who are having issues is you need to go see a doctor, because you're basically telling all the doctor can do, they go to fucking, what is it, 10 years of fucking schooling to be able to prescribe you medications. I mean, it's just a joke, guys. The whole system. Oh my God, guys. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on, man. Come on, man. Damn. And I just think, I mean, the thing is, don't fool yourself, don't get self-righteous and just blow me off and be like, dude, I know more shit than you. I know about this, and I know about this, and I know about this operation that the CIA did. Dude, who gives a fuck about all the little details? That's what I'm saying. Your history was written, by the way. Who knows what's true? This shit's so made up. I told you earlier about the definition of government. You can't even find that shit anymore. Man, it's a fucking joke, dude. They're creating your reality, and the more you try to tune in and go to your abuser for answers and solve your problems, the more confused and the more you're gonna beat up and treat broken people who have been broken by this system. You're gonna treat them like dog dick. It doesn't hurt my heart like any of my family or friends that would do this to me. It's just unreal that it's just on such a, like, I'm such a one person. Like, this is happening on a massive scale to a lot of people, and I'm even guilty myself of inflicting abuse and negligence and non-humanity against people throughout my life, And it's sad, man. I mean, I know people who have died. I know people who have been locked up in loony bins, I know people who have committed suicide. I know people who have been, my own sister cut herself off from the family. She had so many issues, and everybody just said, you got to get stronger. You got to do better, It's sad, man. It's really sad, and we do it to each other, and all I'm here is just, I'm not saying I'm any better or anything. I'm just saying I'm healing, and in my healing, this is what I'm finding. I'm finding that, our self-righteousness has to stop. Our groupthink has to stop. Our reliance on others has to stop. Our excuses have to stop. Our healing comes, and our healing comes from within, and we can all do it, and that's the only way things change. You're not going to vote any of this anywhere. That's the craziest thing on earth, man. Now, I've been thinking, I haven't been thinking hard, but it has crossed my mind because I see that they're talking about all this reset, all this bullshit, plus all the cycles that are going on for inhumanity and everything. And like I said, this is all fabrication. This is all made up. So, they're getting ready for something. They're preparing everything for something. And it just seems like they're really trying to take everybody away from their humanity, And it seems like that's how they're dividing everybody, is if you can't keep up in they're like, again, survival of the fittest. You know, if you can't keep up and merge with AI and willing to merge with AI, and you still want to remain a soul, an individual soul, you know, that's not acceptable. And that just seems like the society that that it's definitely the society we're in. AI or groupthink or, you know, government or institution or whatever. You know what I mean? And it just seems like an important time for us all to start thinking for ourselves and going inside, you know? And like I said, I'm not expecting you to believe anything I say. This is for my healing, and these videos help me heal. And that's why I'm doing them. And I'm hoping that, you know, at the same time, they're helping other people heal, you know? Otherwise, I'm sure I sound like, I can only imagine. Like, if I was on the program right now, if this was like 10 years ago, before my big TBI, I would be like, this motherfucker in his pink shirt and his blue wall and his white ceiling, what the fuck is he talking about? That crazy motherfucker. You know, that's probably what I would think. If this was like 8 years ago after my TBI, I'd probably this would spark me. So I guess I'm doing it for those, like, you know, and I've had my journey. And it took many more fucking traumas and years to just finally start healing and quit going outside myself and going inside and actually healing. And so now I'm making it happen, and I'm doing it in real time so you guys can see that it's happening. You guys can see what's happening when you take the time for yourself to heal. No excuses. You know what I mean? No going, well, Guru Krishna told me that if I don't feel good, I should, you know, you got to go off what you know. You know, if you're hurting, you know, at the beginning of my journey, you saw I was still pushing through. I had to push through physically. That was part of my physical journey. I'm hurting now, but now it's time to relax when it's time, you know what I mean? So you got to know yourself. You can't let anybody else dictate to you. You know what I'm saying? You know, only you know. And if you're in a relationship, if you have kids, good luck. Good luck to you. I wish you the best. Like I said, the more you're tied down to this place and you're tied in with all your debt and all your financial obligations and all your jobs and governments and religious institutions and educational, as more you're tied into this place, the weirder it gets, man. You know? Oh, and I'll throw another weird part. Look, how in the world, no, I won't throw that. But I have another where another very extremely wealthy family is dating, I guess you could call her my stepdaughter, my second wife's daughter. She is in college. And she's dating like a Rockefeller, a Rothschild, one of the grandkids or whatever. I'm like, what's the chances of that? You know what I mean? And that girl, you know, I raised her from, you know, I think I met her when she was 4 and raised her until she was about 8. And then, you know, I didn't really have any contact with her after she was probably 12. But yeah, so, you know, but still, she's part of the family. You know, she's my kid's sister. You know, she's my one son's full sister, and she's my other son's half sister and daughter's half sister. I think that's how it works. I don't know. You know what I mean? So, you know, again, the links back to the family, like, it's all around me. And I'm like, what are the chances? You know what I'm saying? Supposedly there's 350 million people in this fucking, just in the United States alone. What's that chances of that happening? I don't know.